Alright guys, HyDra again today. Hope you're doing well and enjoying your day so far. Dashy's got his hands on Modern Warfare 3 for the first time, hitting some nice shots as you might expect, and it has raised the question as to whether games such as this, with a longer time to kill than has been the case over the last couple of years, will favour players with the better shots. If you look at Dashy's history, his better games have generally been the ones with the longer time to kill. Will that repeat here in Modern Warfare 3? Very much intrigued to your thoughts in the comment section below. Hit the like button if you enjoy. Subscribe if you're new as always, I greatly appreciate it. Lots to get into today actually. Firstly, there's a few things happening over the coming days. This weekend is the Halo World Championship in Seattle, where OpTic will intend to go back-to-back. They won it there last year. They've just won at the most recent event. They're probably going to be the favourites just about. There's really three teams that are in the mix for this. It's FaZe, it's Space Station, and it's OpTic. Those are the three that would be... It'd be a massive surprise if one of those three teams don't win the event. FaZe maybe are looking one of the strongest. It's going to be difficult for OpTic to go back-to-back, but it's going to be interesting nonetheless to see how this weekend goes down. Formal, of course, on that team that I'm interested to see how he gets on. Drama as well in the kind of challenger side of all these tournaments, and this is expected. It happens all the time between pros and guys that do chals and amateur players, stuff like this. When there's so many of these chals happening during the off-season, these things are somewhat inevitable, but nonetheless, there was some potential scamming drama going down, so we've got to dive into it. This guy, Core, says, scammed by pros, it's corny. So, well, here he goes, speaking to Byron Prolute, and asking him for the $75 that he was owed for a chal that they played, and he messages many a time, are you scamming me now? Like, look, why are you ducking me? Brother, just tell me whether or not you're scamming me. I mean, look at all this. He messages him every day, and then, yeah, he's not getting particularly far. Now, the story behind this is a little bit interesting, because it seemed like there was a chal that went down. It was probably meant to be a best of 5. They only did 2 of the maps in the end. They were 2-0 up, the team that Core, I guess, was on. Prolute, I guess, was on the other team. And there was questions as to whether they should kind of honour part of the money to go some way, and it was like, oh, what do we do? That was the debate. So Prolute said in the replies, the chal got cancelled and I don't have to pay anything at all. It was a choice as to whether we were going to pay out or not, and after you spammed me 100 times, I could care less to pay it. So it's like, I mean, I don't really understand this as a reasoning, because what does Prolute expect the guy to do? Like, do you think Prolute was going to pay it if he didn't message him a million times? Like, what are you expecting, right? You message him many times, Prolute's like, oh, no, you're being too desperate now, I'm not paying you. But if he didn't message, is Prolute going to be like, oh, yeah, that guy definitely hasn't messaged me about doing that, so let me get on that right now? Like, I don't really know. Stop crying over Twitter and acting like a victim when you sit there and rig chals or throw them yourself. So, yeah, pretty good, spicy stuff here. I'm not exactly sure where this last part comes from. I don't know all of the lore on this, but I just thought I'd share what I understood, because then Prolute says that any kid who sits on Black Ops 4 all day and is a so-called middleman for these chals is part of rigging them somehow. I don't really know what the theory about this is and how these chals are rigged. I guess I need to do more research, but anyway, he was accusing this guy of rigging some chals at some point and therefore didn't deserve to get paid out. Then Core then actually replied and said, well, we talked about it before, the chal wasn't cancelled, it was 2-0 up in a best of 5 map count, they paid out half since Scrappy just randomly left this chal. I didn't see it at the time, but that's apparently what happened. You agreed yourself to pay out the half, and now you've decided not to. Everyone paid half in the chat, and now because you got annoyed, you could just scam it. And then he went on to give some more kind of, well, discussions on it, you know, super childish. It's pretty expected. So not really the best look, I think, for Prolute on this one. Of course, he was in the league last year on the Vegas Legion, then he was removed, and they made a couple of changes. Eventually, they ended the year with the Standy team with TJ, Clay, and Temp, and that team was actually pretty good. If they were the team the whole year, they might well have made champs, because Seattle was a disaster and probably didn't really deserve to make champs, although they did pretty well at champs, as we'll discuss later on in the day. So yeah, that's the scamming drama of the day. We've got to talk, though, about Modern Warfare 3. There was some interesting updates on this yesterday, coming out especially of exclusive Ace as to the spawns. I thought this is pretty funny from Octane as well, actually, just kind of making fun of some of the movement guys, just going around just doing things that look cool but aren't necessarily useful to play the game on a high level. TP and the other guys were going through the weapons to see what they think, but we know that Karma's given his thoughts on especially the spawns over the last few days and said that This is the main issue. I also think that having watched the game a lot, I haven't played it yet. I'm probably not going to actually play it until release if I actually do decide to get it. Depends on how the feedback goes. I think I probably will at this point. But, you know, I'm not going to get suckered into the hype that easily. We're going to take our time a little bit more to see how things go. But the spawns have been a major point of concern. As I say, the visibility as well. The map's just... the contrast, I don't know, they're colourful, kind of, but they don't even seem the same as they used to when they were back in Modern Warfare 2 2009. You can't really seem to tell your teammates from your enemies. There's a few things they've got to fix here. And it's still got these kind of like frustrating Modern Warfare 2-esque graphics, like of course last year's game graphics that I'm not really a massive fan of, that we've had for the last few years. But still, the game is better than it has been otherwise. But the spawns as well have been causing controversy because even the pros simply can't figure out how they even work. And Karma says that he doesn't know if they're random or exactly how the spawn system even works. So Exclusive Ace did some analysis on this. And this guy, I respect Ace so much, the fact that he's even still around this community, because the work that he's done for the COD community over the last decade plus, really, at this point, for... honestly, not really much return. Like, I don't really think Activision like him because he never seems to get invited to any of their events and stuff because he's happy to criticize the game. So, you know, he doesn't quite get the respect he deserves from that side, but he's still around and doing great work. So massive shout out to Ace for all he's done for the COD scene. But he looked into the spawns and he can confidently say, this is the good news, and we'll discuss this first, that there is no what is considered to be a squad spawn system. And this was a big controversy, especially starting in Modern Warfare 2019, when the game started to be designed away from you would spawn based on the objective, based on your teammate's position, based on the enemy's position, mainly based on the enemy's position, really. You would primarily spawn based on where your teammate had just spawned. And that was the way that it usually worked. You kill one guy, he spawns in a location which is not exactly known particularly well, and then all of his teammates spawn on him, right? That was the squad spawn thing. It's not a great spawn system. Maybe it's easier to implement that with the logic than it is to do something else. But the spawns are always a concern here in COD titles. However, he then says that after studying spawns for an hour, and Ace knows a thing or two about how spawns work, he simply cannot understand the logic that is being used here. And if Ace doesn't understand the logic, and the pros such as Karma can't understand the logic, there probably isn't really any logic. And I don't know what their plan is here, why this has occurred exactly, whether they just say, you know, whatever, we don't care about the spawns for the beta, we'll just fix it for the real game. And usually when the game launches, the spawns aren't great, and they usually do like a spawn update a month and a half into the title, which does usually improve things quite significantly, but it is a key point of concern at the moment. And as, you know, TJ at Slasher in this, because Slasher likes to know what's happening on the spawn side, and says, okay, maybe they just made it unreadable because it's a beta, but Slasher's somewhat concerned that they have no idea what they're doing. But yeah, I'm more than happy to kind of look on the bright side of this and say that they haven't really put any work into spawns yet. It's probably better that they've put no real work into spawns than they've actually come up with a system that is a squad spawn system. Hopefully they haven't done that, and but we'll have to wait and see. We're probably not going to know, frankly, until the actual game itself releases. Now, speaking of the actual game, it was, well, Dashy's first time on the game last night. Plays a bit of the beta, hops in to a favela game right here. Scump was playing, I think maybe Bose was in there, Maniac was in there. Dashy hops in, and okay, look, he's playing pubs, but for his first game on, he's hitting some pretty nice shots. Is it a surprise? It's Dashy. He's obviously going to be hitting nice shots, but he did seem pretty happy about it, right? He was saying, oh, you know, I'm getting the dopamine in from this one at the end of the map. You guys know how it goes. So yeah, I'm happy that Dashy's dope was not checked. And well, these are some of the gameplay moments.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Bruce takes the stage for the first time. Is once again his first ever game in Modern Warfare 3. He has not played the beta yet. He's a fan favorite. Everybody is rooting for the host of the couch to pop off here on Favela. Like,
hey, B, man.
What the?
Brandon, I got a counter for you, bro.
let him shoot, man. Natural.
Dude, I keep like messing up my like sprint. We're doing alright. Okay, Seth, I like that. The hard carry off the rim.
Just know I'm behind their shit. Oh. Dude, wait, yeah, did we flip? No, we didn't.
Damn, I'm getting hit with the fucking insane nades.
It's shooting. He's moving.
Wait, did he just get a Harrier?
Nah.
Is this gonna fry us?
SAE.
Okay.
What's dead?
Remember
Your
that
mic?
kill streak?
No way.
Yeah. I remember that one actually pretty well.
It-
We out.
Yeah, we tried to convince him to use the blue dot, guys.
But don't let me start. Don't get me going.
No, no.
He said, "Let me cook," so we're letting him cook right now.
Gotta win that, Nick.
Brandon, can you go for like a barrel roll like that in the game, or what? Like a trick shot? We need a trick shot for final kill cam.
What'd you say?
We need a trick shot for final kill cam.
That's a good one. Boy.
Brandon was a sniper in this game, right? Like,
This is
gotta
too
be.
easy. Come on, man. That shit too easy.
Gritty.
I'm playing one more game actually. I'm kind of like feeling it.
You just got doped up a little bit?
I kind
Yeah,
of
you
got
did.
Dude, you know the game's fun.
That whole season out of it. He just got so dope.
Brandon said he
I'm like,
wants to
ooh,
run it
There
back.
it goes. The season's starting.
So I guess the question is for me, having watched this, as to whether Dashy and other pros that are known to have really good shots. I mean, Dashy is probably number one in that ballpark. Not necessarily, but Dashy's the one people always talk about, right? Having a crazy good shot, especially just because we know that Dashy's talent is immense, and comparing Dashy's talent to results doesn't always go the way of Dashy, which is why Cellium has a disgusting shot, but people don't really talk about Cellium's shot as much just because, well, you know, he's achieved a lot, and the talent to results disparity isn't necessarily there. So people are always talking about, oh, you know, Dashy, unbelievable at shooting straight, as he very much is. And there is a skill gap even between the pros that is evident even on games with strong aim assist between the pros that can really shoot straight and those that are obviously shooting very well, but they're literally not missing a bullet, as some of the guys like Dashy sometimes can when they're really on form. As we full well know though, based on the testing that Exclusive 8 has again recently done, the time to kill in this game is significantly slower than in recent titles. It's much more comparable to Black Ops Cold War than it is to the recent couple of games. And it's slower than it's faster, I guess, than Black Ops 4. And if you look at Dashy's history as a player, his best games, I would say, are probably the games with the longer time to kill, and that might not be a massive surprise. Black Ops 4 was probably Dashy's best ever COD, most people would probably say, with the Maddox in that game was just unbelievably good. And that game, it took like 6 shots to kill, if not more, if someone was using the stim shot as well. So you would expect that a difference in aim mechanics would exacerbate its influence on how good the player is in a game like Black Ops 4 with a massively long time to kill. And that's kind of looking back what we see. Dashy in Modern Warfare 19 didn't have a great time that game, but the time to kill in that game was literally half, if not less than half, of what it was in Black Ops 4. Black Ops Cold War, that was a good year for Dashy, longer time to kill. Vanguard was also a very good year for Dashy. That had a fast time to kill, but not as fast as the most recent game in Modern Warfare 2, or, of course, back in MWIII. So there does seem to be a correlation here between Dashy's general success over the last few years and the time to kill of the game. We're now going back into a game which is Black Ops Cold War-esque in terms of time to kill, and maybe there's something to be said about that. Obviously, other players as well also going to be great at this game, but it does feel like Dashy should be built pretty well for this game. It also depends to some degree on what the meta turns out to be. Right now, the Striker, which, I mean, that looks like a UMP to me, and then the MCW, which I'm pretty sure is just the ACR. Those are kind of like the two guns that people are using at the moment. Which one, upon full release, will actually be stronger? Will it be an AR's haven? Will it be an SMG's haven? I guess that remains to be seen, and to be honest, we never really know the answer to this because the AR pros always say the SMGs are overpowered, and vice versa as well. So very much enjoyed your thoughts on all this stuff in the comment section below. Hit the like button if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new. Take care, and I'll see you next time.